Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Bashem Rachak Wadash. My name is Jacobo from Plaintables Camp. This is the apostles video reviewing the elders video on reincarnation.
All right, because of
Like if a guy can't get it, like vocab, you try to show vocab. If he can't get it, then move the hell on. You're not meant to get it. You're not meant to get it.
things we did in a past life. This is Lamentations 5 and 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities.
Now, how is that when that goes against the father does not pay for the sins of the son, neither the son pay for the sins of the father?
All right, let's read it in the NLT. Our ancestors sinned, but they have died, and we are suffering the punishment they deserve.
Yeah, because you did it when in another life. You are your
Yeah. We're moving in the direction, destiny's arrow. So we can't move from it. So if we sinned in the reincarnation, we serve the punishment. We're moving toward what we were meant to do. We were meant to go into slavery. We were meant to fall asleep, lose our identity, and awake back up and gain a knowledge of who we once were, which were the tribes, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and now we know who we are.
fathers, as Ariel would say, you are your fathers and mothers reincarnated.
Okay, and that brings you to what the book of Jeremiah, one of my favorites, the 32nd chapter, the 18th verse. All right, which without the understanding of regeneration, reincarnation, the scriptures really don't make sense. This is where a lot of people, are left on the outer court. All right, as
That's where they stumble, stone to stumble in a rock of offense.
the temple is measured. There are particular Israelites that are on the outer court. All right, and reincarnation is one of the main things that.
So when I heard this, I said, let me make a video because every Israelite, well, one Western should know. They should all say reincarnation is a biblical concept. I understand those other Israelites, but the spirit is not dealing with it. When you go to Google and you deal with Hebrew Israelites, you Hebrew Israelite, Black Hebrew Israelite, BHI, whatever, the main group they're going to be talking about groups are former one Westers. Not these other Yah Israelites. They really don't know what's going on. They're like pretty much Christians. They just don't know what's going on.
Many Israelites can't fathom, because when they think about it, they think of it from the perspective of how the heathen, who have always taken from the beliefs of the chosen people and established their own perspectives and philosophies towards it. They teach you that you come back as a bat, or a rat, or a roach.
We don't teach that. You come back as you're an Israelite man from the tribe of Judah. Most likely you'll come back as an Israelite man from the tribe of Judah, or you can come back as an Israelite man from the tribe of Levi or Ephraim, or whatever tribe.
Right, because you come from the source of the seed royale. All right, so when you look up, when I was looking up destiny, and the first phrase I thought of was destiny's arrow, because we're all moving in a direction. So our spirits go back to our family lines, whether it be which the family line is the seed of Jacob, so it can really go anywhere. But typically it goes back to your tribe. Which is Ephesians 1 and 5, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahweh Mashiach to himself according to the good pleasure of his will. So the Israelites that were in Ephesus, they fell away. All right. And when Yahweh was walked the earth and he was put to death and resurrected, you had certain Ephesians that believed and continued in the doctrine that they heard. And some were still in the heathenistic state of mind, and Paul and the other apostles raised them up out of that mind. Not all of them, all right? But whom this letter was written to, they were amongst the congregations, the different congregations. All right, so you have G4309, predestination, predestinated. We got pro orizo, which means to predetermine. That's destiny, foreordain. All right, determine beforehand, predestinate. And then we look up adoption. It's referring to the Israelites. We got Sia, and this is the main point here: the relationship which the power was pleased to establish between himself and the Israelites in preference to all other nations. All right. The nature and condition of the true disciples of Mashiach, who by receiving the spirit of the power into their souls became the sons of God. And these are the Israelites also. The actual Ephesians was the Japhites, or yeah, Japhites technically. Because before Japheth had that land, I believe Ham had that land. All right. Or part of Anatolia anyway. Let's go back to the third verse. Blessed be God and Father. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord, Yahushua Mashiach. That's Yahweh he's referring to, who has blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Mashiach. Yeah, we're able to sin, fall asleep, and then be resurrected from being spiritually dead. And our spirit goes back into the flesh of our family line, all right? And we're able to achieve righteousness in Yahushua. And we get the kingdom. All right. So we definitely are blessed ultimately. But right now, we're like sapphire stones and gems in the rough right now. According as he hath chosen us before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. All right. So if the Ephesians were sodomites and idolaters, all right, they would have to give that up. So the Lord does not accept you as you are. You have to convert and be healed. All right. The Greeks were known sodomites, even the ones that were Israelites. They were sodomites, and they practiced pederasty. So there's no way they can be blameless. So you can't come as you are. Think about Israelite, or even a heathen. Let's say, because people believe the heathens can be saved, right? Edomite Greek, right? And he wants to come into the faith, and he practices pederasty every day. These modern day Christians say, "Oh, the Lord, he accepts you. He's a pederast. He practices pederasty. He's an actual pedophile." Right? But the Edomite anti-Christians, that, oh, you can, the Lord Jesus Christ accepts you because he loves all people. All right? That's asinine thing to believe and think. All right? According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. So it's not of works. So it's not because that Israel was so righteous. It's because that's the way we were designed. All right. Remember we read about the preferential treatment? Where we got? Preference to all the nations. Here we go. Let's do oil purple. Oh, you want to see right there. All right. In preference to all other nations. So, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. Jeremiah 1:5. That's on the list. I might not even get it. All right. So how the hell your works decide how righteous you are? All right. The Lord gave us the works. All right. It's not because you do the works, it's because of who you are. The Lord gave you the work to do. All right. The seed is the instruction that you received before the foundation of the world. All right. Before the foundation of the earth. And Jeremiah, well, I'll just get it real quick anyway. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So this is not, it's not like that's why, and people they get trapped up over not of works because these are not intelligent people, and that's fine. Not of works, you don't understand it. It simply means that it's not because you did the righteousness. All right, it's because of you're of the elect. If you're of the elect, He gave you a certain amount of work to do. All right, and in your body you do righteousness. All right, it's not that you can just do a list of things and you're guaranteed the kingdom. No, you're guaranteed the kingdom before the beginning of the world, before the earth was even established. The sons of God were already uh, thought about, and they will be manifest on earth. And we were going to do good and evil, and at the end, we were going to be brought back to the righteous side. All right, it's foreordained before we were even formed in the belly, in the womb. All right. Now, Romans 8 and 29, we got, for whom he did foreknew, he foreknew. Y'all know what these words mean, right? For whom he did foreknew, Yahushai, all right, the sons of Israel, the sons of Jacob, all right, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. All right, moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. And we, Yahweh Shai Rajazah, we are the first fruits, all right, the firstborn amongst the Israelites that come back to the faith, all right. So when it comes to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the holy, all right, we are the ones that are set up to give the congregation the truth to save your soul. All right. Did I have one more? Isaiah 46. Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. All right. So it's about the blueprint that was initiated in the beginning. All right. It was laid down, it was set into play, into action in the beginning. All right. Before our beginnings, it was laid down. All right. The knowledge was passed to the Son, which is Yahweh Shai, and He created us, all right, according to that blueprint that He got from His Father. All right. So declaring the end from the beginning. Yeah, our spirits moving throughout time. All right. Our spirits moving throughout time so we could be standing in the last days and receive our judgment and do the acts that we were programmed to do, both good and evil. So reincarnation definitely exists, and we are. It's several scriptures on reincarnation. All right, I'm thinking of one in Ezra, who shall deliver me in those days. All right, and Yahweh said, risen in the iniquity upon the sons unto the third and fourth generation, roughly paraphrasing. So the our steps, our goings, destiny's arrow is at work.